My boss is in love with my husband, I, 32F, and my husband, 30M, have been married for almost 4 years. He tells me that he loves me multiple times a day, every single day. He is not very attractive or very charming. He is average-looking and an introvert. I love him, maybe not as much as he loves me. He doesn't go out much, and I always have to drag him to parties with me. My boss, 38F, is an extremely attractive woman who even did some modeling decades ago. The woman is still drop-dead gorgeous, has an amazing voice, and is funny. Almost half of the guys and few of the girls at my office are in love with her. She is married to an almost equally handsome man who also works at the same company, but at a different location. A year ago, we were at my office New Year's party. My husband was his usual introverted self till I introduced him to my boss. They almost hit it off instantly. At first, I thought my boss was just being nice, but then I noticed that she was genuinely shared my husband's interests. They had a long conversation, which didn't bother me then, because I never thought my husband would make a move on her or that she would be interested in him beyond a polite conversation. At the end of the night, they exchanged numbers to keep in touch. I didn't think much of it then and thought she might have given a wrong number to my husband. But at some point they started texting and even made plans to meet. I was surprised when he told me that my boss had invited us to dinner at her place. I started suspecting my husband a little. My husband and boss started to hang out a lot. My husband would invite me to the events, but somehow my boss would find some urgent work I needed to do and I couldn't join them. I didn't want to be the nosy wife who didn't trust her husband and told my husband to not cancel the plans because of me. I tried keeping appearance of not being bothered, but on the inside, whenever my husband would get excited about hanging out with my boss, I wanted to yell out and cry. My husband would never hide things from me. He always told me everything that happened. Most of the details were boring, but he would also show me the pictures of him with my boss, and it would just set my skin on fire. She dressed provocatively in my of the pictures and would often be very close to my husband. A few months ago, I told him how I felt and forbade him to talk to my boss. We got into a huge fight, and it has left a rift between us. At this year's New Year's party at my work, I refused to kiss him at midnight, but he did kiss my boss because she had no one to kiss her. He still says I love you every day, but I have stopped saying it back. He still talks to my boss and claims to have never hidden anything from me. Last week, I confronted my boss about her intentions with my husband. To my surprise, she didn't attempt to cover it up. She told me that she was interested in my husband, but my husband only thought of her as a friend. She told me that she knew about the situation in my marriage and suggested that I should leave my husband if I couldn't keep him happy. She even indirectly offered me a pay bump if I let my husband live his life. I have been isolated ever since. I don't have anyone to share my feelings with. My husband was my best friend and my confidant, but I can't even talk to him now.